In August 2023, Reza Baluchi attempted to cross the Atlantic Ocean from Florida to London in a giant hamster wheel, or hydropod as he called it. As a world-class athlete, once imprisoned for not adhering to strict Middle Eastern culture, his dream was to cross the ocean in a way no one had ever attempted, and to raise money for charity and promote world peace. However, this wasn't his first attempt to cross the ocean in a hamster wheel, and he was no stranger to trouble with US maritime authorities. This is the story of Reza Baluchi, a man who blurred the line between daring adventure and sheer absurdity. Born in Iran in 1972, Reza Baluchi grew up in a deeply religious country where he came to feel his views on life and freedom were at odds with his Iranian culture. At 14, he made the Iranian national cycling team, showcasing his athletic prowess. However, even within the realms of sport, struggled with the strict Islamic rules he was obliged to live by. Once caught eating during Ramadan, he was taken to the market square and beaten. And at the age of 18, the revolutionary police branded him, beat him, and tied him to a tree for various offences against Islam. Eventually enduring 45 days of torture, he was given a 2-year jail sentence. His crime? Wearing a Michael Jackson t-shirt and the possession of a romantic movie. Upon his release, he moved to Germany, where he made world headlines, cycling 55 countries, promoting world peace and opposing authoritarian regimes, relying solely on strangers for food and shelter. In 2003, gaining asylum in the United States, he embarked on a mission to run for peace. Starting in Los Angeles, he ran to Ground Zero to show that Iranians stood against terror and the attacks of 9/11. In 2010, after moving to the Death Valley, he ran in heats above 130 degrees Fahrenheit or 54 degrees Celsius, all in the name of charity. It was his time in Death Valley where he began pondering the idea of running on water. By 2014, Reza Baluchi had saved more than $4,500, working hard in any job he could find to build his dream. A ball resembling a giant hamster wheel, which he could propel by running inside it, realizing his goal of running on water. Hand-built using 3mm thick plastic, empty gas can cylinders encased in an aluminum frame with pedals, and filled with basic navigational equipment, he had built what he referred to as a hydropod. By late 2014, it was time for his first mission, to reach Bermuda Triangle from the coast of Florida, a 1,000-mile journey to raise money for charity. While his adoration for raising money for charity was admirable, and his passion for life and freedom inspiring, it was clear for all to see that his attempt to reach Bermuda was, to say the least, ill thought out, dangerous to himself, and never going to succeed. If this point wasn't obvious enough, it was made so when only a day into his trip, he stopped a boat to ask the captain for directions to Bermuda. However, his bold adventure would be cut short just 185 miles into the 1,000-mile journey. After reaching for his water bottle, in his own words, accidentally set off his emergency locator beacon, prompting the US Coast Guard to go get him. Finding him exhausted and deeming him to be in danger, they insisted he abort his mission. Having sent a helicopter, a ship, and a C-130 airplane in their search to find him, it cost the taxpayer around $140,000, and he was made to abandon the hydropod and all that was in it. This, although heartbreaking for him, by anyone's estimation, could have only been one of the better outcomes you would expect from such an ill-conceived mission, however noble it was. However, this would not deter Baluchi in his desire to spread his message of peace and to raise money for charity by running the world. He would spend the next 2 years raising $22,000 to build a new hydropod. He once again intended to reach Bermuda and Haiti, before making his way back to Florida, a mission planned to take 5 months. However, this time having asked the Coast Guard first, they denied his request to do so without a support vessel and threatened him with imprisonment and a $40,000 fine if he did so anyway. This greatly upset Baluchi as he felt that America was meant to be the land of the free, where anything was possible, the very opposite from where he had came from. perhaps not fully grasping that the decision was not just about freedoms, but the safety of other vessels and Baluchi himself. When asked why he didn't just use a support vessel, he responded that he didn't want anyone else to risk their life for his dream. Nonetheless, in 2016, he embarked on a planned journey anyway, only to be discovered by the Coast Guard 2 days later and a mere 7 miles off the coast of Florida. He was picked up and brought back to shore along with his hydropod. Somewhat amazingly, he would attempt 2 more times that year to complete his journey, each time being caught by the Coast Guard for violations of sea law, eventually being admitted to a psychiatric unit for a day after threatening to hurt himself when the Coast Guard sunk his hydropod. In 2021, he would make an attempt to reach New York in yet another hydropod. Launching from St. Augustine, Florida, he somehow washed ashore 30 miles south in Flagler County, unceremoniously ending his journey and copping a $10,000 fine. However, if you thought that's where the craziness ended, you'd be wrong. Come 2023, Reza Baluchi had not given up his dream to run on water. Again with a new hydropod and a new goal, running the Atlantic Ocean to London, somehow still none the wiser as to the ways of the sea. In late August, as Hurricane Franklin closed in on the east coast of the United States, Coast Guard officials prepared. However, on the 26th of August, they got news that caught them off guard. To their disbelief, Reza and his hydropod were sighted floating 70 miles off the coast of the state of Georgia, headed for England, and once again they were duty-bound to go stop him. This time, Baluchi would respond in a more aggressive manner than he had in the past. When officials arrived at the vessel, Baluchi was not in a good state of mind. He informed them that he had a 12-inch knife and threatened to hurt himself if they stopped him. Forced to back down, they left the scene. After returning the next day, he threatened to use explosives inside the pod. He showed them wires to try to convince them that he was serious. The standoff would last another 5 days until the 1st of September when, perhaps exhausted and hungry, he finally agreed to abandon the hydropod.
A Florida man faces criminal charges. It is for his unique way of trying to cross the Atlantic Ocean.
And what a way to travel.
Yeah.
Authorities say Reza Baluchi claimed he was trying to journey from here all the way to the United Kingdom in a human-sized hamster wheel. And he was spotted about 80 miles off the coast of Georgia. Baluchi allegedly claimed to be armed and threatened to hurt himself and others. This incident was not the...
Reza Baluchi said later in an interview that he has no intention of giving up on his dream to run on the ocean and his lifelong conviction to spread peace and raise money for charity to help those in need. Funnily enough, among others, he wanted to raise money for the US Coast Guard too. He still lives in Florida, and I'm guessing this isn't the last time we'll hear about Reza Baluchi and his hydropods. Let me know your thoughts on this story. Was he just downright crazy? Or is he a man who just wants to make the most of his shot at the American dream? If you enjoyed today's video, I would love it if you subscribed and joined me for the next one. If you missed my last video about the Jetline rollercoaster accident in Sweden, you can click the link on screen. And as always, thanks for watching.